Welcome in, spooks! Welcome to What Would Rory Gilmore Do? No. If Rory Gilmore did a readathon. Yeah. So this is not to be confused with the Rory Gilmore reading challenge, because I have a list of those books upstairs. That is not going to help me with my TBR shelf challenge. However, I think if Rory Gilmore did a readathon, it would be a lot like the way she tackles her studies when she's got finals coming up. So in season 3, episode 21, there is this beautiful scene in which the famous line is said, something along the lines of, "You need to sleep, sleep is what keeps you pretty." And Rory says, "Who cares if I'm pretty if I fail my exams?" Something like that, you know, iconic line that I don't fully remember. But in that scene, Rory is studying 3 different subjects at the same time, and she says when she gets tired of one, she just moves on to the other. And so I'm going to make that a readathon. So today, I have 8 hours and 8 books. I will not be completing these 8 books in those 8 hours, let's not be crazy. But to tackle the end of my TBR shelf challenge, I need to read these 8 books in the month of June. And so I need to get started on them today. Let me tell you about the books. I'll tell you the ones I've already begun. So I have already begun reading Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. I think I'm 19% of the way through. There you go, I know that. I've got the ebook because I just don't want to damage this really beautiful edition. So I'm reading the ebook on that. I am partway through. Well, I'm going to say partway through, but I began this morning The Witches at the End of the World by Chelsea Iverson. And I am on page 11. I began this morning, but we're not counting that as my 8 hours. It is 10 AM, by the way. So I'm going to read until about 6 PM. So this right now, cutting into my reading time. But let's move on. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This big bad boy I am audiobooking, whilst kind of dipping in and out of immersive reading, just because it's so chunky, it's hard to physically read the whole time. I think I was listening to this, I went food shopping about 10 minutes ago, and I was listening to the audiobook whilst I was food shopping, and I think I'm further through than this bookmark suggests. But let's just say I'm around, I think, page 250, maybe. Out of a lot, 770 I think it is. So they're my current reads, and I am going to switch it up every hour. So for the next hour I think I'll continue with The Goldfinch because I've already been reading that for a little while, and then I'll mix it up when it hits 11 o'clock. So the other books that I need to start on this day here is Project Naught by Chelsea Farady. This is a queer graphic novel. In case you weren't sure, it's Queer Book Club. And this is not actually part of my TBR shelf, but it is part of my TBR challenge for June. So I still need to read it. I think I can read this today. I've had a flick through already, and I caught a kissing scene, but it's really beautiful. Let me get up close actually, and personal, because it's really, really cute. So I'm really excited to read that one. And then going back to my TBR shelf, I have Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. This is quite a short book. It is only 235 pages, so I might be able to finish that today. I don't know. I haven't begun. In fact, there's a bookmark in here on page 14, so maybe that's a lie, but I don't remember reading that. Then we have Herc by Phoenicia Rogerson, obviously about Greek mythology, and I haven't begun this at all. Oh, that is big text. Nice. So I'll begin that later today. Please don't fall over. Then we have Briefkeeper by Alexandra Villasante. I have part read this before. I soft DNF'd it last year for no other reason other than I just didn't have time to finish it. I'm on page 73, but I will restart it today. It's a really exciting premise. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. We've got too much going on today. Just Google if you're interested maybe. And then lastly, I have The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. So I have also started this once before, but it's got a very heavy start. It's probably going to have a very heavy subject matter the whole way through, but the start was very heavy and I was not in the mental frame of mind to deal with that. Whereas today we're chipper. We're freaking chipper. So yeah, make me miserable, let's go. They are the 8 books. The schedule is as such. As I said, it is, I don't know where my phone is. It is 10:08 AM. I'm going to continue listening to / kind of reading The Goldfinch whilst I make myself a coffee, and I've got cinnamon buns. I'm going to heat up a cinnamon bun and I will listen to that until 11 AM. at which point I will switch it up, move on to my next subject, if you will, and I will pick with you. Maybe I'll spin a wheel. Ooh, I might spin a wheel, that will make it exciting. Or roll a dice. That won't work because there's 7 more. Is there 7 books? Yeah, there'll be 7 books. I'll spin a wheel. Okay, we'll do that together. So let's make the coffee. Oh, I heard my phone. Where are you? Are you under something? Anyway, irrelevant. I will make my coffee, get my cinnamon bun, and sit down with the goldfinch. I'll see you in a minute.
Hey, I heard you got a new best friend. Yeah, it hurts a bit, I won't pretend that it doesn't matter that you're with someone else. In a way, that's how it's supposed to be. If I'm unable to make you happy, then it's for the better that you are not with me. That's why I wrote you a letter, 'cause you see, I write so much better than I speak. And I need to tell you, you were my best friend till the end. I hope I'll be happy without you, but right now I don't know what to do. It's hard to get over, you chose someone else, a new best friend. Doesn't feel like it was long ago. We were head over heels in love, thought it'd last forever, but somehow we got lost. Looking back, I didn't realize what was wrong with me. I can't deny I took you for granted. You finally...
Okay, I'm very distracted because I keep just checking what time it is. I'm like, I don't want it to go over 11 o'clock. It's now 10:52. I think I might just set some alarms so I know when I need to switch books. That feels better. Cool, let's go. Okay, that's 11 o'clock. By the time I actually realised what page I was on, I think I discovered eventually that I was on page 218. I only had half an hour left, so I stopped on page 230. The evidence, yeah. But not too bad for half an hour, that's fine. Let's spin the wheel. Making sure you're focused, ignore any smudge prints, you don't need to care about that. Okay, I filled all the names in. Let's see what we're reading next. I'm hoping for Project Naught. Oh, shut the frickin' front door. Thank you. So this is Project Naught. It is a graphic novel. It's queer. It's sci-fi. And this is exactly what I needed because I've kind of been listening to The Goldfinch and reading The Goldfinch on and off all morning. I did read a little bit of The Witches at the End of the World in bed this morning, but really I just want something a little bit lighter, so I can't wait to read this. I'm going to put this camera on charge and get reading.
Finally had enough for That's why I wrote you a letter, 'cause you see, I write so much better than...
I've got the back door open and I can hear the church bells in the village ringing. So it should be 12, right? I don't know why we're a little bit behind. Or the church bells are a little bit ahead. I don't know. There we go, that is 12. Okay, great timing. Milo wanted to sit here, that's his spot, so I had to move all the books over here. Mario's okay with sharing. Can I get my phone out from under your butt? Thank you. I got to page, I'll update my spreadsheet in a second, I got to page 73 I think it was, I don't have a bookmark. Page 73 of Project Naught. I don't know why I thought I could make like a really big chunk of it. I think I was really, sometimes, let's begin again. Sometimes with a graphic novel or a manga, I read the text so quickly, I don't actually pause to appreciate the artwork, but I am really stopping to enjoy the artwork because it's so cute. It is super queer, super cute. I could not ask for more. Also a really just interesting concept of time travel. They're currently in the year, I don't know how you would say this year. What year is it? Hang on. 2122. Would you say 2122? So that is definitely time travel. But yeah, page 73. Let me update my spreadsheet really fast and then we will spin the wheel and see what we're reading next. I could have sat and read that for hours more. So I read 73 pages of that. Now let's spin the wheel and see what we're reading next. I will film on this too, so you get a close-up view of what's happening. Whilst you clean yourself, we will spin. I'm hoping for Divine Might or Herc. I'm not really enjoying Divine Might at the moment, so I kind of just want to get a chunk of that out of the way, you know? But some Greek mythology might go down a treat now. I've had something soft, I can go for something a bit heavier. It's not going to be that. It's going to be Watch Over Me. Celebrate. Thank you. Let's remove it and let's get Watch Over Me. So I haven't, although there is a bookmark in here, I don't believe I have started reading it, so I don't know why that's in there. But perfect, we'll start reading right now. It is, how long have I been yapping for? A couple of minutes? 12:03. It's 12:03 and I'm going to start reading Watch Over Me. I'll see you in an hour.
I need to tell you, you were my best friend to the end. I hope I'll be happy without you. But right now I don't know what to do. It's hard to get over. You chose someone else, a new best friend.
Such a beautiful stretchy boy. And I know you're about to go off. Sing me the song of my people. Big belly. It's a beautiful big belly. You're a beautiful big boy with a beautiful big belly. What did you hear outside? Don't freak me out. Oh, a cinnamon bun. That's 1 o'clock. Okay. Oh, I haven't put this camera on, but sure, you don't need that. I made it to page 38. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you can. And yeah, super interested in this one too. This process is really working for me. I now see why Rory did that. Let me update my spreadsheet. Add you to the pile. And then I will... Sorry, Maz. Oh, did I wake you up? My gunky-eyed boy. Here is my basic little spreadsheet. So, I read Watch Over Me. Ignore the last column. I was just toying with something and didn't do it in the end. What page did I say I got to? 38. So I read 38 pages. Obviously, that makes sense. I've read a total of 123 pages so far. Obviously, Project Nought is a graphic novel. Let's spin and see what we're reading next. Here we go. Sorry if I hit your whiskers. What would I like? So I have the audiobook for Herc, Silence of the Girls, Divine Might maybe? So I guess one of those would be nice. If not, we can make it work. Witch at the End of the World, I have the ebook. I also have the ebook for Divine Might. Either of those would be easy because I can just put my iPad up in the kitchen whilst I'm making lunch. It's only going to be a quick lunch, so it doesn't really matter. So basically, we'll work with what we get. I think I've been left with... Okay, fine. I think I've been left with quite difficult books now in the subject matter. So I'm going to... What did you just see outside? A bird. Okay, I'm going to pick up Witches at the End of the World again. Let's remove it. So I do have the ebook of this if I need it. I was physically reading it in bed this morning. I'm starting on... I don't want to annoy Milo with this page. Okay, I'm starting on page 10. Let's go make some lunch and start this book for the next hour.
I've been wondering about you. They said that just one look and
It is 2 minutes to 2 o'clock. The time is going to go off any minute now. I mean, probably in 2 minutes. But I didn't do so good in that sprint. I was making lunch, and I was sat eating lunch, and I didn't have an audiobook to go with it. But I did read a good chunk of this morning, so we're gonna say it's fine. And that's 2 p.m. So I was reading The Witches at the End of the World. I wrote this down. I started on page 9. I mean, I began the book first thing this morning, but I started this sprint on page 9. I'm now on page 18. And like I said, I was making lunch. I ate lunch in that sprint. I'm not going to explain myself. So I'll type in 18. I am enjoying this book so far. It's quite not a slow start. It's definitely not a slow start. I think it's YA, so they're quite young characters, so some of the dialogue or like the angst is quite young, but it is good. I am interested to see where it goes, so less excited about it compared to the other ones I've read so far today. But let's see what we're reading next. I will film The Spinning Wheel. Okay, the books we have left are Herc, Divine Might, both of which are Greek mythology. Silence of the Girls, what is that? I can't remember what that's based on. And Griefkeeper. I probably need to read one of these 3 to get something heavy out of the way, otherwise my afternoon is going to be intense. To be honest, I just think I need to get Divine Might out of the way. Yeah. So reluctantly we're hoping for Divine Might, but Silence of the Girls would help. Okay, fine. Silence of the Girls it is. This is the one that I had already started once before, but stopped because it was too heavy. So let's see how I get on with that one. I do think I have the audiobook for it as well. Here she is. We're starting again, obviously. Right now I'm watching YouTube. There's YouTube, there's you, there's me. I will see you in an hour.
'Cause there's something about you, and you know it too.
It's 3 p.m. I have just finished reading The Silence of the Girls. Not finished reading. I did get to page 29. I read 29 pages in that hour, and that felt like that zoomed by. I got past the bit that I got stuck at last time. It was pretty rough going, and I'm sure it's just going to get rougher, but I feel more mentally capable to cope with it this time round. So whilst not a comfortable read, I got through it okay, and I'm very intrigued to see where it goes. I bought this book so long ago. In fact, I think it's probably a gift from my grandma a very, very long time ago, and remembered nothing about what it was about. And now I realise it follows Achilles and Helen of Troy and all the women affected by the war. So, very interesting topic for me. Excited to finish it and see where it goes. But you have 1% battery. Okay, let's spin really fast then. I don't mind what I get this time. No preference. Ooh, okay. Griefkeeper. I'm gonna make a snack, get an iced coffee, and I'm going to start again because I soft DNF'd it. Griefkeeper. Let's put you on charge, shall we? I forgot to add to my spreadsheet. So on Silence of the Girls, I got to page 29. So I can add that in here, which means my total of pages read so far today is 161 pages. And it's only 3 o'clock. We've got 3 more hours. Wait, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 3 hours. 3 plus 3 is 6.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
There's a plane going past. I went to put something in the wheelie bin like 5 minutes ago, and I walked straight through a big cobweb. Straight to the face. Straight to the face. I have 5 minutes left until 4 p.m. exactly, but I've just got to the end of chapter and it feels like a good place to stop. I don't want to now start another chapter if I'm going to have to stop reading in 5 minutes. So I actually got up to page 43 of Griefkeeper by Alexandra Villasante, and I am really enjoying it so far. I'm so excited to see where it goes. It grabbed me like within minutes. First page, grabbed. I'm so interested in the concept and I can't wait to see what they do with it. It is not a very long book, so let me update the spreadsheet now whilst we chat before the alarm goes off. So I finished chapter 4, I got to page 43. So, let's update the spreadsheet. You are recording. Can confirm. Did I say 43? Probs. So, we started on page 0, got to page 43, which means so far I have read 204 pages. I don't think I'm going to read as many this... Oh wait, that makes sense, yeah. That's actually so many pages, considering I've been reading for 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 6 hours. Obviously one of those was a graphic novel, so that was quicker to get through pages, but still, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. The wind, she blowing. So the last 2 books I have to read are Divine Might or Herc. I haven't started Herc before. I'm very excited to see where that one goes. Divine Might, I think I said earlier, I'm 19% through, and I'm not really enjoying it. I think my problem is, I love the way Natalie Haynes writes. She is a brilliant writer, cannot be denied. However, it reads, and I guess it is supposed to read, just like non-fiction. And it just feels like I'm reading a textbook on Greek mythology, but with a little bit of humour and quips added in. And I'm just not built for that right now. I'm just not built for it. I need escapism. I want to make sure I record when that hits 4 p.m. So I will have this prepared. Look how cute she is, by the way. She's just the cutest little thing. It's the original model of the DJI Osmo, I think. There are so many fancy ones out now that like the screen's this big. My screen's teeny tiny, but honestly, she does the job. She does the job. There you are, in front of the TV. Here is the phone. Hello. Almost 4 o'clock. And there she goes. Let's see what the wheel has for us now. I'm hoping for Herc. I want headphones in. I don't want to read Divine Might right now. I'm gonna be 50-50. Oh, damn, that was so close. Okay, cool. I will read Herc, and then we don't really need to look at that again. So I do have the audiobook for Herc. I'm gonna stick my headphones in. I might just sit and read the first couple of pages physically. Oh, the font is huge. What size the font? I'm not sure if that shows up how big that is, but that's a big font. Yeah, I'll read the first few pages physically just to help me get into the book, and then I'll stick headphones in and go tidy up my clothes, empty the dishwasher, etc. So I'll see you in an hour for a chat. I will read the first couple of pages of Herc now, stick my headphones in, and crack on.
It's now on this boat and we all know where we belong. Just wait. Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there. Hold on tight. I can smell the shore. It's right in front of us. If we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore when we can't read the sky. We just sail with the wind that we've got. And when we're drowning in doubt, just keep
Ah. It's 5. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Okay. Oh no. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Whew. So I half listened to the audiobook of Herc by Phoenicia Rogerson and half physically read it. I am on page 47. I just accidentally flicked forward a page and I can see there's kissing about to happen. So I'm excited to get to that page. But for now I have to stop. So page 47 in Herc. Let me update the spreadsheet. Where is the spreadsheet? Yeah. And then I guess we'll read Divine Might. So we read Herc. We started on page 0. We got to, what did I literally just say? 47? 47. Trust yourself. Ooh, that was good. Okay, I am going to do the e-book. I'm trying not to disturb you so much, Mario. I'm going to do the e-book for Divine Might. Let me get the physical copy and I'll tell you what page I was on. I was on page 57, I think. 57. It's very confusing doing Greek mythology after Greek mythology, but sure. Page 57. Let me add that to the spreadsheet so I know how many pages I read in this hour. I'm going to sit back and read the ebook for Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. Hi. Slight change of plans, my friends. So we're going to take a little break and then read for my last hour later. Spencer's coming home early, so we're going to have dinner when he gets back, and then I will have my hour of Divine Might reading later. I will keep you updated. Don't you worry, it's still happening. I'm not putting it off because I hate the book. I don't hate it. I'm not mad. I just read a whole other page. It's fine. I just want to dedicate my whole hour to it, you know? So I will return in about an hour's time, and maybe I'll read from 7 till 8. Okay. It's a little later than I thought it was going to be, but I am here, same day, just later in the evening. It's 8:01, which actually is perfect, because now I can read until 9. Let me put a 1 hour timer on. There you go. And I'm going to read Divine Might by Natalie Haynes, but I'm going to be reading the ebook. I'll just tell you what page I was on. I can't remember if I already told you that. Well, I'll tell you again. If I did, I'll tell you again. Page 57. I think I already told you that. Ebook. Hi. Ebook is ready. It's not focusing. You're just going to have to trust me. There is an anime on behind you. And I'm going to sit back and read for an hour. I'm really not looking forward to reading this. But I've got 27 ebook pages left of the hero chapter. I don't imagine I'm going to complete that in the next hour. But if I can make a dent in it, that would be nice. Then we can move on, you know? I noticed that one of my clips has corrupted. And it's fine if it was just that one clip. But I can't now go back and check old clips that I've recorded today. So there's a small chance that they've all corrupted. It's fine. It's fine. Boys, it's fine. Boys, we're fine. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even bothered. It's fine.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh,
I can't do it anymore. Okay, I've got 8.5 minutes left. I'm not DNFing Divine Might. I'm not DNFing it. I'm hoping that I'm just really, really struggling because I've been reading all day and I'm tired and it's not how I wanted. I wanted to end the day immersed in something fantastical or just not real. And I know, I mean, it's Greek mythology, so it's pretty fantastical, but it's just reading so heavily like non-fiction. And I've read 2 Natalie Haynes books before and haven't had this problem. So that's why it's either just not the collection for me, or it's just because I'm very tired. So I'm not DNFing, I'm just stopping. But I did read quite a bit. So I started on page 57 and I read, okay, I've not read actually that much. I finished on page 71, so I read 14 pages. 7 more pages. There's 7 more pages of this section and I'm still pausing for tonight. I just can't right now. But that does mean that my challenge for today is complete. I mean, give or take 8 minutes, but I'll just chat to you for 8 minutes and that will count. Don't test me, okay? Don't test me. So, today I read 8 books. I read part of 8 books. I did not complete 8 books, obviously. I read The Goldfinch, Project Naught, Watch Over Me, The Witches at the End of the World, The Silence of the Girls, Griefkeeper, Herc, and unfortunately Divine Might. And in total, I read 265 pages. I'm so impressed. Considering I did a 24-hour readathon a few weeks ago, and I read 300 and something pages, and that's 24 hours. And obviously I slept in that time and did some other things, so maybe I was only really reading for, I don't know, 10 hours maybe in total, but maybe more, I don't know. But I'm impressed. It was, I do think it was, let me put this down. Whoa, I almost dropped it. That's not how I wanted to put it down. I do think it was a interesting challenge in that it kept me engaged up until this moment. But there were some times when I was reading a really good story, like Project Naught or The Silence of the Girls or Herc, and I was really hooked, but then the time would be up and I'd have to move on, where that was frustrating. But then there were also times like when I was reading The Witch at the End of the World, an interesting book, but when the timer ended I was like, yeah, I could read something else. So all of that is to say, Rory Gilmore was pretty clever in her tactics of studying. And when you translate that into reading rather than studying, it's pretty effective. My only issue I now have is I have 8 current reads now. I'm not putting that on Goodreads. I'm not admitting to that. That's just between me and you. Okay, right here, right now, this is a safe space. I now have 8 current reads. And that's a little bit overwhelming, but it is, okay, the 9th of June. It's the 9th of June. I have to finish all these books by the 30th. That feels very doable. I mean, The Goldfinch is freaking massive. The books are upstairs. They were here. That's why I'm pointing here, but they're now not here. I tidied. My props have gone, but it does feel doable. Kind of. If I didn't have to go back to work tomorrow and could just read every day, it would be a bit more doable. I do have 1 more day off towards the end of the month and a couple of weekend days here and there where I could do some big chunks of reading. So I guess I'm looking for another challenge maybe I could do. So I've done a random number generator recently. I've done 24-hour challenge. I have done this, whatever this is. If Rory Gilmore, as I said that, behind you is Netflix, and I have paused my anime to talk to you, and you know when it does like the little trailers of you should watch this next, Gilmore Girls came up and Rory is like right next to the camera right now. It's fate. Anyway, I'm saying I've done these 3 challenges to try and like, you know, make it more exciting that I have to read so much in June, and get to my goal and my deadline with pep in my step and a smile on my face and joy in my soul. So yeah, if you can think of any other challenges that I could do this month or even next month, August, whenever, just for fun, let me know because I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying trying different things and yeah, finding some excitement in really pushing myself to the limits. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting down below. You can just put a stack of books emoji if you got this far, because I read a stack. But otherwise, I'll catch you in a video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye! Thank you. This is beautiful music to my ears.
Let me show you a place.